Siegrist and Arike. Start here with Coach first. If any questions in the Zoom, just use the raise hand function and we'll get to you. Coach, we have a question in the chat here. Faced some late game challenges lately all season. What was the difference tonight?
I'm sorry.
Late game challenges all season. What was the difference tonight?
Well, I think it's just utilizing the minutes a little bit better. I think also our bench, playing solid, but we slowed it down a little bit if you noticed in the half court set. So we knew we couldn't let up on the defensive end. So we kind of slowed the pace down.
A quick turnaround tomorrow in LA.
Don't remind me of that.
What's the preparation like between now and then?
Well, just no practice, no shooter. We're about to jump on the charter flight, which we are extremely blessed to have. Right now, it's more about recovery. We will go to the gym tomorrow and walk through a few things, but it's more about rest and recovery right now.
Career high for Maddy Siegrist tonight, near career high for Arike. What was really clicking for them?
Confidence. They came in. I want to say this about Maddy. I was so proud of her. She was a positive 21, 10 for 16 shooting. I remember once looking over at her and I said, "Are you good?" And she played 37 minutes. That young lady wasn't going to come out. I had to drag her off. She just kept looking at me that she was okay. But yeah, talk about staying ready when her name is called. She has done that, and so been extremely proud of her. And let's talk about Arike. 11 for 24, 7 for 12 from the 3, 11 for 12 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, which is my favorite, and then ending on a 40-point. I remember looking over at the bench and go, "My goodness, I'm just so glad that she's on our team," because she's I'll get emotional just when it's so bad for her. So I'm extremely excited and happy for that. She had an incredible career night.
Your team as a whole was really firing offensively. It was actually the first time this season the team has scored over 100. Is that high-powered offense really something you've been emphasizing?
We talked about really in our situations since we don't have Natasha Howard or Sadu Sabley or even Jaylen Brown, we had to help. We had to have scoring, from our bench and from others, not just Tierra McCowan or Arike. And so they did that tonight. You think about Maddy with 22, Monique Billings. Let's do not sleep on that one. I mean, that addition has been invaluable. She is such a great player. She had 18, T with, 13, 40, and then we had something from everyone but one. And so it was just more of sharing the basketball.
And you mentioned those injuries. That's something y'all have kind of struggled with here early on this season. What do you credit to your team for how they've been able to rally together and still get great wins like tonight, despite those injuries, some of your best players?
Consistency and confidence, the will to win. I think we just keep preaching that we just got to stay in the mix and we'll start getting bodies back. And this group has done that because, some teams would have just fold and say, we don't have that poor me attitude. How's that? I mean, we're here to compete. We're wanting to win every game. So I've got to give credit to this team. It's really a special group. It really is.
Last question from me. I mean, you talk about your offense, but then let's switch to defense.
Okay, let's talk defense.
Especially against a team like the Mercury that have been playing really, really well offensively here early on. What was the game plan and what did you really like from it? Not only tonight, but what you can take from it to go forward.
Yeah, I think, if we had a concern coming in of just a lot of times with their 5 out, and we had to make some adjustments on the defensive end, but that's an area that obviously we preach since day one. It's getting players to believe they can actually defend. I don't care who it is or where it is located on the court, especially when you have, 2, 6, 7 players. Talked about, I went up to the coach afterwards and I said, man, your defense was really good. He goes, forget about mine. What about yours? So just a mutual respect there. But that's something that we wanted to enhance this season. And you look at it and you go, man, really? 92 points? That is a lot, but there is crucial moments that we got incredible stops.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you.
Arike team has faced some late game challenges all season. What was the difference tonight?
I think we learned from the last 2 games that we were up and lost the lead. And I think at halftime and third quarter. Well, at halftime we talked about it's not over. Obviously, we were up the last couple games going into halftime, and then third quarter they made their run. They made a big run actually, and we knew that would come. It's basketball. They're a great team. Everybody in the league is great, so people are gonna go on runs, but we just stuck together and kept executing and found the gaps with the press and then got it done. So I think it was really just composure.
Maddy, career high for you tonight. What was really clicking for you?
I think just being in the right spot. Just really trying to crash the boards. But when they collapse on Reek, just trying to just hunt the ball down for sure.
Rico, you had 40 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Same question to you. What was really clicking for you?
Yeah, I think we were just playing as a team. I mean, we were setting screens, we were moving, without the ball, with the ball. Everybody was in attack mode. Maddy had an amazing game. Yeah, just as a whole, like everything was just really working. And then I think that freed, when, Maddy and everybody scoring, that frees stuff up for me because they have to pay attention to them, as they should. Every team should pay attention to them. But this game, I think everybody's really in attack mode, and then that gives me a little bit more room to do stuff. But this was a great team win. I think everybody played well, really.
Question for both of you. Quick turnaround. You guys play tomorrow. What's the preparation like for that?
I mean, this is our first back-to-back, so I guess we gonna see what the preparation is. We gonna try to get some rest, watch film. We just gotta be pros. Obviously, we don't have a lot of time to prepare, so watch film. It's another great team we're gonna play, but there's a lot of teams have back-to-back, so we can't feel sorry for ourselves. So we're gonna go in there, rest up, and just try to go in there and get a win.
Maddy, JC Sheldon had a career high tonight, 6 points. What have you seen for her growth in the last 4 games?
Yeah, I think just being more comfortable, handling the ball and then taking the open shots. I think, being 2 for 2 from 3 was huge. That was a great spark that she was able to, come in off the bench and contribute. And, we see it at practice every day. So it's always great when it shows up in the game too.
Hey, Reed, great game for you, especially offensively. I mean, you were shooting some crazy 3-pointers. You had about, I think, 1 or 2 off the backboard that looked like they were gonna go in and they sang for you. Are those the kinds of shots that you practice? Like when you shoot 7 for 12 from 3, like are you really emphasizing that 3-point shot in practice?
Yeah, I think all off season I shoot a lot of threes. Practice I shoot a lot of threes. So what we see in the game is what I do in practice and what I work out with. Fans and people don't see the work that you put in, the work that all of us put in. Like when you see shots and it was like, oh, how did they make that? Just know a lot of us practice that because we're pros and this is our jobs, and it's our job to perform on the court. So yes, those shots are practice. Some shots are harder than others, but everything is something that we work on in the off season.
And then Maddy, you led the team in the rebounds tonight. Was that something, same kind of thing with her with the 3-pointers? Is that something that you like to emphasize and really get in the paint and get those boards for your team?
Yeah, definitely. I think anytime, you can give your team some extra possessions, that's huge, especially coming in playing a team, as talented and as good as Phoenix. I feel like the last 2 games I didn't rebound as well as I could have. So that was something, I was really trying to focus on tonight.
And then this is for either of you. Obviously, with the X Factor with the Mercury, the arena got pretty loud at times tonight, especially during that run in the third quarter. What's the secret to kind of locking in and rallying as a team in moments like that?
Just coming together. I mean, fans are gonna be fans, and that's what makes it exciting. I love playing away, at gyms, especially when they're, in it because they came to see great basketball. But we just have to kind of quiet the noise, especially when we're in our huddles. Just focus on the little things and listen to each other. Obviously, it's gonna be loud, but if we lock in on each other and listen, then we'll be okay.
And then Coach kind of talked about, with the injury troubles that y'all have had, being able to sort of, like you said, rally together and stay confident in those moments. What has sort of been how you guys talk in the locker room, how you guys talk in the huddles to stay together and stay successful like tonight, despite those injuries?
I mean, we trust each other. I mean, we know obviously we're missing, some all-stars, some players, but what we have is enough always. Whoever's on the court is enough. And we're confident in ourselves. We work at it, we practice. Everybody's a pro. It doesn't matter if they're a rookie or 8-year, 9-year. So we go in there with the same expectations to win with whoever we have. So we don't really focus on, what we don't have. We focus on what we do have.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Safe travels.